Yeah, all right. Welcome back to the YouTube channel of Pro Enzo Vidz, and this is the Ankle Breaker podcast, episode number 32. So, 32 episodes in. It's fantastic. We're not too far from the other milestone 40 now. So, yeah, 32 episodes in. Pretty proud of that. It'll be a big show tonight because we've got heaps of things to talk about and discuss since it's a big week coming up with Origin and everything, and also want to say that before we do get on to everything, I just want to say that this afternoon or tonight now, we've got a special guest. It's the first one in a couple of weeks, and that is introducing first Nick from Australia. So, Nick, back on the channel again, brother. Good to see you here, and how you been? Thanks for coming on.
Mate, it's an honour to be on the show with you, Pro Enzo Vidz, and the great Rugby Roundup is here as well. It's good to see. Mate, your podcast has been very popular every Monday afternoon, 5:30 p.m. It's one of the best things to do after a long day of work, or if you're at school or whatever. Make sure you tune in every week. It's a very good show. And if you don't know who I am, well, I am Nick from Australia. I have a YouTube channel. I'm almost at 2,000 subscribers. Things are getting there. I would already be there if it wasn't for the Lismore flood that happened back in February. But that's in the past now. Got to move forward and got to adapt to everything that's been going on. But as always, Pro Enzo and the roundup, it's good to be here.
Bro, it's good to have you on. And yeah, regular co-host Rugby League Roundup back again for another episode. How are you going, Billy?
Yeah, really good, really good. Just I enjoyed this week a lot in terms of footy, basically. So yeah, my favourite team won, and yeah, it was really good to see. So yeah, it was good, and yeah, I'm going well. So thanks for asking, bro, and I can't wait.
Hey, Pro Enzo
Yeah,
Vidz, Pro Enzo Vidz, I just got a quick question for you, bro. Just one quick question.
Yep.
What happened Friday night, brother?
Oh, come on, bro.
What happened?
You just got to bring it up. I got hurt enough in that game. On Friday, I got hurt enough. I heard enough of that game. I was just I wasn't good after that game. So thank you for reminding me, Nick.
14-point lead with 7 minutes to go at Brookvale Oval. Fuck me. The impossible happened. The impossible happened.
Yeah. Even worse that Brookvale Oval, but we won't talk about that too much. Bro, I'm not telling you that game still. That hurts. Anyway, getting through the comments. So it looks like we've got 11 people watching in the space of 3 minutes. So good to see we've got a good crowd coming in. So yeah, we've got Luke Melfan in the chat. He says Queenslander, or should be New South Wales. Joking. Oxley here as well. Warriors NRL Fanatics, one of the newest members of the channel. And we've got a lot of other people here. Jason Reed in the chat. Even got Jason Reed, CJ Moxley, Fanatics, and yeah, everyone's coming in. So good to see everyone here. And enjoy the show. It should be a good episode coming up. And just want to say, if you haven't already, I assume most of you would be, but if you haven't already, go and subscribe to the YouTube channels of Rugby League Roundup and Nick from Australia. Both their YouTube channel links are in the description down below, so be sure to subscribe to them if you haven't already and go check them out, because both on the verge of getting to milestones very soon. Like as Nick said before, getting close to 2K. Does a great work for his YouTube channel, does good content, and I enjoy every video he posts. So be sure to get him to 2K if you're not subscribed. And as for Rugby League Roundup, same applies to him as well. Getting closer and closer to getting to that 200 subscriber mark, or just getting better in general game for him, I think. So make sure to check him out as well. But I think it's time to start. What do you reckon? Time to get into it.
Let's go. Let's rip it in.
Yeah, too easy. All right, so review the quick review of the footy and the week it was. So round 15 of the NRL. Good round. What opinions on the start with you, bro? Good, which was a great win. Sure, not everyone expected it, but I know Nick tipped them, which is a very good tip. But yeah, other than the Dragons game, what games did you enjoy, and what do you think the round it was?
It was a really good round because I got I got 8 for 8 for tips this first time of my life. 8 for 8 in my first ever main tipping comp that I held. Yeah, 8 for 8. It's a good feeling. And my favorite game. Well, I didn't watch Friday's game, so I can't really judge on that. But my favorite game that I watched was the Roosters and Eels clash, which I thought was really entertaining, especially with some of the tries that was scored. And yeah, it was a tough game out there as well. It was really physical, and you could tell. So yeah, that was my favorite game this week. And yeah, it was a fairly good week of footy, I'd say.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And Nick, on to you now. What did you think about the round of in round 15? Yeah, obviously your boys are too good for Manly. It was a good win for yous. But yeah, what did you think about the round?
Yeah, well, I thought it was a good round of footy. Obviously, we had a lot of good games, a lot of surprises. Like you said at the start there, I did tip the Dragons over the Rabbitohs. So I did pick that. I did predict that to happen. I just thought the Rabbitohs, um, they've been a bit, they've been okay last couple of weeks, but the Dragons were due for a big win. And obviously, McKay's fair game, I knew they'd be up for. So I decided to go with the Dragons, and it ended up getting a bigger win than I think most of us would have predicted. Obviously, the Cowboys game was fantastic. Got that win there. 14 points down with 7 to go. I don't think any other team besides maybe Penrith could have pulled that off. That was incredible. Enjoyed watching the Gold Coast lose again up there at Coffs Harbour. It was great to see a game at Coffs Harbour, by the way. Really enjoyed a game of NRL going to Coffs Harbour. Obviously, the Sharks got a win over the Gold Coast. Just like what Billy said before, Eels over the Roosters in the cracker. Raiders almost pulled off a massive chug against Newcastle, but Hudson Young was the hero there, and Bulldogs get back-to-back weeks, but back-to-back wins. But bugger me, bro. As you know, we did the Sunday football review yesterday, and I would have got 8 from 8 as well if the Tigers had a 1, but the Tigers let me down for a perfect round. But overall, great round of footy, and 7 from 8 of my tips, so not bad.
Yeah, them bloody Tigers, eh? Fucking hell, too inconsistent.
Fuck them.
But
Fuck them.
yeah, but other than don't tip them, but yeah, but look, as what I think about it, yes, I was disappointed about Friday, and I think we definitely should have won that game, but that's the past now. I've got to move on. But I think the quality of the round was good. There was a lot of all right games, I thought. Um, excuse me. But yeah, we have Roosters Eels. That was pretty good. That was a pretty decent 1 point. Defeating Seattle was a big shock, but it was good to see them win for 300. And then Dogs winning by 30 points back weeks. Definitely improving for them too. So yeah, I think it was a good round. I think I enjoyed it, and I hope when round 16 comes by weeks they'll be just as good. So yeah, that's all our thoughts on it. Okay, on this is the main one now. We're going to be talking about the topics are set. So the very first topic of the show is about the New South Wales Blues and the team changes. So very controversial with what Freddie's picked here. There's some things I do like, but there's some things where I like. John, but we're also going to analyse the Queensland and side too. So we're not and their team changes that they've made or Freddie's made. We're going to go through the sides as well. So changes there. Out of Radley, McLean, Gutho, Burden, Talakai, and correct me if I've missed anyone. What players deserve to be there? What players don't deserve to be there? And what concerns you the most about maybe Madison and RCG getting dropped for Trevich, Crichton? Like, what's your general on that?
Was he talking to me? Because his connection just cut out bad there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I did a live stream about an hour ago about this, the whole state of origin situation. And look, I think New South Wales got it right and they got it wrong. There were a few things that they got right and wrong with the team. I think Campbell Gillard and Ryan Madison were very, very hard done by. I think Angus Crichton and Jake Trbojevic coming into the side is a risky one. I think Jake will do a job, but he's been there and done. Angus Crichton, I'm not too sure why he's in the side. I don't quite understand that. Everybody's saying that Talakai doesn't deserve to be in the team. I'm like, okay, maybe he isn't in the greatest of form, but Talakai is going to be a secret weapon in New South Wales. He'll come off the bench and he will cause havoc. He can play back row. He can play centre. You can put him in the middle. Talakai, in my opinion, is going to be the New South Wales secret weapon. So I'm glad Talakai's in the team. I think he'll do a job. I think Tarek Sims deserved to be dropped. He was terrible in game one. Katoni Staggs was terrible in game one. Jack White, obviously, unfortunate due to COVID. Look, I think Api Coruscant is an awesome addition to the side. But as for the squad, bro, I think Goverson's lucky to be there. Victor Radley, I don't understand that. Really don't. I don't get that one bit. McLean, don't get that one bit as well. There are some weird selections, bro, and there's some good ones as well. But overall, I think it's a stronger New South Wales team, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, I totally agree on that. But I guess what sort of annoys me the most is that Madison got dropped for Crichton. I think
I don't get it.
seeing that happen doesn't really make me too proud, especially with Crichton's form this year. He hasn't even set the world on fire at all. Look, does Freddie have a plan? Let's hope so. Rugby League Roundup. When you see the Blues with Burton, Talakai, McLean, all coming in Gutherson, what players deserve to come in? What players don't deserve to miss out? Like as in dropped and etc. Like, what would you change? And what do you think about that?
Well, I've just looked at the team again, and it's safe to say that maybe the backs all deserve to be in the side. You could argue that Daniel Tupou could be dropped because his defensive reads haven't been up to date lately, especially in that Origin 1 game. He let Valentine Holmes just walk into the try line and just scored like that, even though he could have actually made an attempt to try and take him out of play. He just did nothing. He just let him score. So I guess you could argue that he could be dropped, but he also did enough to prove that he can stay. So I guess that's all right. Yeah, Jake Trbojevic is in the side and Matt Burton's in the side, which I can understand. They have done all right. But I think Addo Carr could have been included, at least in the reserves, if not starting. I just feel like he's tried really hard this season. The Bulldogs have been shocking, dreadful, so many games, and he's always tried putting an effort in or tried his hardest to play good and help his team win, and he's just not getting rewarded for it, which now he actually is because they're winning games now. But he's played well.
Yeah.
You can't say that he's played like absolute dog shit because he hasn't, and he's played really well in an underperformed team that has achieved to not what no one expected, and they all thought that maybe the Dogs have an actual chance to make the 8 when they didn't even get close to it. So, yeah, well, he's really performed for the Bulldogs this year, even though you can look at it and say no, but yeah, he has. If you look at all the games, so yeah, you could argue that he could actually could have made the side in the reserves. I don't have a problem with the second rowers. Tarek Sims, yeah, he missed that tackle on Cherry Evans, so I just remember that. So yeah, that's okay by me.
Yeah.
Damien Cook for Api Coruscant, I can actually understand that, to be honest, because I think Damien Cook could bring a bit of spark off the bench at least, and Api Coruscant has actually deserved to start, I reckon. So that's fair. Angus Crichton, what the hell is he doing in the side? He hasn't done much this season, in my opinion. to get an Origin spot at least. Yeah, he's just been kind of off for the Roosters this year, and I don't even know why he's in the Origin side. Jordan McLean, Clint Gutherson, and Victor Radley. Now I have a bit of beef with this because Victor Radley hasn't played in 5 to 6 weeks, and there's much more deserving forwards that deserve to be in the side than Victor Radley. And what is this? Why is he in the side? Is it because of the Roosters' favoritism? Is that why it is? Because that's just an honestly stupid reason to pick someone for an Origin side. And I don't understand why McLean and Gutherson are in there either. I'm just a bit confused to what the reserve depth is. Like, what's the depth here? Like, you got Nico Hines and Suwali, which are okay. Well, they've actually been there for a bit now, so they've probably all right depth. But again, McLean, Gutherson, and Radley, you could pick so much better depth players than that in the side. And to be honest, Gutherson hasn't performed to like all the other years. Yeah, he's been kind of consistent on a level, but he hasn't set the world on fire this year. He hasn't done anything special like Dylan Brown or even Mitchell Moses has done better than Gutherson, I reckon. So I don't know why he deserves to be in the side. And Jordan McLean, yeah, he's actually been okay this year, but still, I don't think he deserves an Origin spot, to be honest. I think poor bloody Regan Campbell-Gillard has just probably lost his marbles as to why he's not in the Origin side. I'd be fuming. I'd be fuming. I'd be freaking knocking on the door even more for an Origin spot. Like, what is this selection? Honestly, and Greg Alexander watches half the games and commentates on half the games, but has made a decision to select some of these players, which is absolutely shocking because it's not just Brad Fittler that selects the team. It is also Greg Alexander who has an implement on it, as I was told by
hey, Billy.
Billy. Billy.
Yes, sorry, I've rambled on for a bit.
No, that's all right. Nick, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, Billy, mate, you're talking about Addo Carr saying that he should have been in the team. Have you got a problem with Daniel Tupou, bro? Because in game 1, I thought he was pretty good, and Addo Carr hasn't done anything this year. I mean, he's had, 3 or 4 great games, and the rest has been shit. I know he's playing with the Bulldogs, and they're going dog shit, and the Roosters are going pretty average as well with Tupou, but I don't think Addo Carr deserves to be in the team at all.
Yeah, well, no, I don't have anything against Tupou personally as a person, but I don't rate him as much as I used to. I did like him. I liked him as a player a couple of years ago, and just his last couple of years, he's been a bit, I don't know, he's come across as a bit of a grub in some types of ways.
I'm not sure if you're going to agree with this as well, Billy, but in my opinion, now, it might make you wild, bro, but I would have Joseph Suwali over Addo Carr.
I actually, no, you know what? I can see that because Suwali's actually been really performing well for a young 18-year-old, but I just think it comes down to that experience, and I don't think Suwali has that. I think that's why he's in the reserves, just to get some experience for this year.
Well,
but
the other thing I want to say as well, bro, because I know Proenzo wants to move on to another topic real quick. I saw your Instagram story last night, and you had the shits that Tarek Sims was dropped.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that a bit of Dragons bias coming out of you there, bro? I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Tarek Sims hasn't done fuck all to even be in the team, for game 1.
Yeah, well, yeah, that is. I'm just going to be honest right now. I'm saying that is. At first I thought, I saw the reaction. I thought, what? And then I decided to rewatch the game back yesterday, and he let Davey Cherry Evans slip over the line, and I just thought, that's why.
One mistake doesn't mean you get dropped though. Like you know, it's about the whole game. But
he didn't run much. Like he didn't make much meters when he ran, which
that's why I wouldn't have picked him. He's past his best. He's way past his best. But yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
But yeah, I'm just a bit dazzled to what some of these selections are. And personally, I think Freddie panicked a bit.
I'm sorry,
In terms
guys.
of
Well, I think we'll
selections.
do yeah.
Yep.
So, all right. Look, through both the New South Wales Blues teams and the Maroons. Team this time because of Pack might look a little bit drop with Jake being there, and I suppose as well just I think better sound. Um, but I think it looks more opinion. Not too many, silly balls with the side. I don't know. I think are good, but the Queensland team looks fine on both sides, and you give me go for the Blues back line. Fullback James Tedesco, wingers Brian Toto and Daniel Tupou, and the centers are Matt Burton, who's a new name in the centers, and Stephen Crichton, and halves are Jerome Luai and Nathan Cleary. So, Nick, what do you think about it? Do you back line?
I think the back line's fine, bro. I think Matt Burton coming into the side is a good addition. Obviously, Matt Burton's no Jack Whiten, but he's got the history with Penrith, and Luai, Cleary, and all these sort of players. And he was the center of the year last year, which I know is completely irrelevant now. But there's not really many other guys you can pick at the moment because everyone's gone down injured. And so, look, I think Matt Burton will be fine, bro. I think he'll do a job at left center, and I think everything else is fine, bro.
Yeah, that sounds good. When you back line, do you think it's the right?
Yeah. Oh, I can't say it's no. He's probably just sticking with some of he's stuck with all the players in that back line other than Jack Whiten because he's out with COVID. But yeah, I don't mind that back line at all. I think it's a really good back line. It could actually hurt Queensland if they get tied towards the back end of the game.
Is Lorenzo frozen?
Yeah. Just I want to say also just I hope I'm still there, but
yeah, you're here,
just
bro. But your
give me
connection
a
is
new
so
laptop.
delayed. It's shocking. His connection's shocking.
Move on from so bear with me on. Well. Okay. Moving on to the Queensland back line. So hopefully I get this through clearly. So at fullback, there's Kalen Ponga, wingers are Selwyn Cobbo and Murray Lungi, who's the new winger. And then you've got Val Holmes and Dane Gagai as the centers, and the halves, Munster and Cherry Evans. Run enough for Queensland.
Yeah, good back line. Good team, to be honest, even though they could beat us, to be honest. Yeah, good team.
I think he's frozen again, bro.
Yeah.
I'll just give you my opinion on the backline for Queensland. I mean, they've got two players out due to injury with Xavier Coates and Ruben Cotter. Everyone else was there ready to go. So, look, I think they've had two forced changes, and I think Murray Taulagi on the wing. As a Cowboys fan, I think he'll be fine. But yeah, Queensland look pretty normal to me.
But I think that's a actual thing. I don't know, but I've got the team up on my phone now, so I'll just go if that's all right. Yeah, thanks for your thoughts on that, Nick. To the Blues forward pack now. So Payne Haas at prop with Jake Trbojevic, who's the new one there. And then the hookers Apasai Korosia. Then the back rows are Murray and Martin with yeah, Rugby League Roundup. When you hear that forward pack of Trbojevic, Haas up front, and Murray and Martin in the background, it's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah, I can say it's actually a decent forward pack. I think Isaiah Yo obviously deserves to be there. Same with Liam Martin, Appy Coruscant, Payne Haas, and Jake Trbojevic has kind of earned his spot over the last couple of weeks with his form. I'm a bit questionable on whether Cameron Murray should play second row or not. I don't know I haven't seen much of him in the second row, obviously, to judge. Hopefully, CJ can let me know if he's actually decent in the second row, because I actually haven't got to see him much in the second row. So I don't. It's a bit questionable, but I don't have much of an opinion on it. Otherwise, the forward pack's good, and yeah.
Yeah, fair call, bro. And what do you think, Nick, in your opinion?
Yeah, look, I think the forward pack's all right. You got Haas there with Appy Coruscant. I think Coruscant at dummy half will be fine. Jake Weber is only in this team because of defense. I think off the bench would have been better with Junior Paulo starting, but I guess they're going to go with Jake starting. I'm not a big fan of personally, because now you've got two ball-playing forwards, and Payne Haas is going to have to do all the fucking running meters, so not really happy about that, but what can you do? The back row, Murray will be fine. Liam Martin's under pressure to keep his spot. He needs to have a big game. He had a shocker in game one, and Isaiah Yo will do Isaiah Yo. He'll be himself as he always is.
Yeah, no, totally agree. And yeah, I think we're going a little bit over time in this one, but that's all right. But I'm just gonna read out both the benches. I'm gonna read both the benches out, and then you both have your say on which bench you think is stronger and which one do you think is a bit more better in terms of both of them. So the Blues bench is Cook, Angus Crichton, Junior Pooler, and Sia Sivatalaka making his Origin debut. And then the Queensland bench is Harry Grant, Jai Arrow, Patrick Harrigan, and Jeremiah Nanai. All right, Nick, out of those two benches, which one's better and why?
Unfortunately, I have to say Queensland. I think theirs is better. I think they've got more variety. They've got a hooker, they've got a prop, they've got a back rower, and they've got a guy who can play prop. New South Wales have only got one genuine prop on the bench, which I think is a concern. So I have to say Queensland have the better bench.
Yeah, no, I think it's a fair point. I agree, actually. And Billy, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with what Nick said. I think Queensland's bench is better. Damien Cook and Junior Paulo and Talakai can provide some good meters for New South Wales, no doubt. But I just think Harry Grant, Jairo, Patrick Carrigan, and Jeremiah Nanai is a really strong bench. And I think Angus Crichton weakens New South Wales bench, to be honest. And that's what has led me leaning towards Queensland's side. For their bench, I think is better. That's my main reason. So
Yeah, no, good point. I think I'm coming in a little bit clearer now, so hopefully, guys. But moving on to topic two. With this is interesting. Now, this is very interesting. This topic here, because I have seen a lot of comments, Bulldogs fans themselves, saying that they think Potter should be the coach going forward, and they also think that he's making a difference and understands the culture of the club. So basically, he understands what the club may need, and what's he doing with the players, etc. So he's coming from saying that, but I just they need a coach from somewhere else, personally. But it's interesting if Potter keeps this up. I'll start with you, Nick. So, what do you think the Dogs need? Do they stick with Potter going forward after how he's going? And as you can see by below there, it says that they are averaging more points with his service than they did with Barrett. So that's another thing that probably goes to show you that Barrett was a shit coach there. But Nick, what do you think, bro? Potter to stay or not?
Definitely not. They won 2 games. What? They beat the Tigers and the Eels. They beat the Eels, who are their big rivals. Of course, they're going to be up for that game. When it's a rivalry game, form goes out the goddamn window. Of course, the Bulldogs were up for the game against Parramatta, and they blew them away that day. And they beat the Tigers. Tigers are just like the Bulldogs. Bulldogs are a bit better. Tigers are shit. Mick Potter, won 2 games in a row, and everyone's saying that he should be the new head coach of the Bulldogs. Fuck me. Go back and look at his fucking track record. It's fucking terrible. Mick Potter as head coach, definitely not. Like I said a few weeks ago on the podcast, if I was the Bulldogs, I would be going very, very strong for Jason Riles.
Ooh, Jason Riles, you reckon? I think he'd be all right too, actually.
Mick Potter's not going to make this team any better than what they are. 2 good weeks and he should be the coach. Fuck me. So what's next? I'm going to have 2 good feeds and I should be a fucking chef. Fuck's sake. No way.
Yeah, well, I that's a fair point. No, thanks for your opinion there. I agree. Billy Potter to stay on as Bulldogs coach going forward, if they keep getting wins and maintain good form, or would you still go with a different coach?
Well, Gus himself said he wants an experienced coach, so I don't understand why Big Potter would be in the conversation, because there's so much more experienced coach. You got Paul Green, Shane Flanagan. I've heard even Brad Fittler wants to coach some, or that's probably lies too, because Buzz
He won't coach the Dogs.
Yeah, probably not.
Fittler coach the Dogs.
Yeah.
No way in the world.
Yeah, and even Jason Riles. Who's that? What's the England coach name? Something Wayne.
Sean Wayne.
That's the one.
Sean Wayne.
They should actually kind of just take a look at him, because
about the St. Helens coach, Christian Wolf? He's won 3 grand finals in a row. Why not look at him?
Yeah, look at him too, because he's won 3 grand finals with the Super League. It's got to mean something. So, yeah. Just take a look at some more experienced coaches like they wanted. Look, Mick Potter hasn't done bad to turn this team into at least some better form than they were 5-10 weeks ago. But they've only won 2 games in a row. If they win against Cronulla next 2 weeks away from now, if they win against Cronulla, then I'll be absolutely shocked. But I'm not looking too much into Mick Potter. But also the Bulldogs fans are right in saying he does actually have Bulldogs DNA, because he did play for the Bulldogs. So look, if he wants to help out the Bulldogs, well, why not? But he's not a head coach, so yeah, that's my opinion on it.
Yeah, cool. I think I agree on that too. Even though Mick Potter's done well in the last 2 games and the Dogs have scored more points than what they have under Potter than Barrett, I think they do need that experienced coach going forward, a coach that has probably had a bit more success than Potter. That's not saying Potter isn't any good, but I think with the squad they have, with Marnie, Kickout, all coming next season, I think they'd benefit with definitely a more experienced coach that has a bit more knowledge in the game, has a bit more of an idea. So I'm with you both. I think they need a different coach and someone that has a bit of a fresher mind, like a Serrato, a Flanagan, one of them. I think they're so I think I'm on the same page as what you both think.
You know what's really, really funny about this? You know what's really, really fucking funny about this?
Yeah.
Bulldogs win 2 games. Mick Potter should be head coach. All this talk about him being the coach. It's like, you won 2 games. Yeah. You beat a good team and you beat a shit team. Sit down and shut your hole. Mick Potter shouldn't be an NRL coach. Just like me going into a fucking restaurant. I have one good fucking day where I make some food. And what's next, mate? Fuck me. I should be the fucking chef with SpongeBob SquarePants and the fucking bikini bottom. Fuck me. Fuck me. Fuck Mick Potter, man. Waste of time.
Bikini bottom. Fucking.
Can't coach for his
bikini
life.
Bottom.
Fucking SpongeBob SquarePants.
You make a good point. No, you make a good point. That's fucking funny. All right, going on to the last. now. So this is good news, obviously, for any Parramatta fan out there. So Ryan Madison, I think we've all heard about this news. He has re-signed with the Eels until 2020. I believe he'll be 32 years old by the time he comes off contract again. So I think it's a very important move by the Eels. Obviously, Ryan Madison's playing great footy, playing very good footy. I think ever since he moved to lock, I think his form has gone to a whole different level. I think this explains why Nathan Brown's probably going to leave the club because they see Madison as a long-term lock maybe, and that they actually do look better with him there. So I like it. I like how Parramatta have kept him, and the Dolphins are obviously very close to signing him, but credit to Parramatta, they did enough to keep him away from the Dolphins. So I'll start with you, Rugby League Round. When you hear Parramatta have re-signed Madison until the end of 2026, and just based on his form this year, do you think it's a good call by Parramatta?
Oh, it's great for Parramatta, especially their retention. They've lost a couple of players, as we all know. Marnie's leaving, and a couple of others. But yeah, that's very good for the Eels to see. I guess it could attract more players to come to the club, and he like you said, he could be the long-term lock for the Eels because I reckon he brings more than Nathan Brown does, and I just think if him at his best form could be a really, really good player. So yeah, good on him, and hopefully he can stay on the Eels till 2026 because he's had a bit of issues with club negotiations and contracts and leaving early. So let's just hope the Eels can get the full deal out of him and get the best form out of him because if they do, he'll be a really good signing for Parramatta. So yeah, that's my thoughts.
Yeah, for sure. And Nick, good re-sign out of here, you reckon, with Madison staying?
Well, if you're a Parramatta fan, you should walk into your local bar and have a fucking beer and say, we finally kept somebody. Jesus Christ. They're losing everybody. Everybody wanted to bloody leave. And they finally kept someone. I think Ryan Madison as a lock has really improved. I think he's one of the most improved players in the competition. He just played Origin recently. Obviously was snubbed for game 2, which is a shame. But Ryan Madison, I'm sure he will be back in that Origin arena sometime soon. But no, I think it's a great re-signing for Parramatta, and I think it's on 600,000 a season, so it is a bit of a deal. But you got to pay over. You got to pay over sometimes to keep some of your big name players. So I think Madison re-signing is a great sign for the Eels.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think staying at Parramatta is going to make them probably a bit more stronger with him being in the middle because I think his form at lock definitely changed the way he's playing and has helped Parramatta as well. So, and it's been a real masterstroke. I think it's been a real masterstroke putting him in that position. I think, as you can tell by unfortunately being dropped for game 2, but for game 1, I think him playing in the middle was pretty good because he's a big body. I think he's getting used to that role, and I think it's a role for him going forward, and I think he's going to help the Eels. And I mean, I think him not going to the Dolphins shows a lot the loyalty he has for Parramatta. So credit to him for not and just staying at Parramatta and doing the right thing, I guess, because they gave him an opportunity after he left Tigers, and I think he's by Parramatta. All right, on to the last sort of segment of the show now. So, as you all know, it's time to give our round 15 team of the week to end off the show, and we also give our player of the round as well. So, before we start, I'm just going to get my charger quickly because my phone's going to die because I have to team my phone. But I'll go you first, Rugby League round. Read out your team of the week, bro, and who's your player of the round? I'll be back in a sec.
My player of the round. It's pretty tough, but I'm gonna lean towards Ben Hunt. To be honest, I think he's been the absolute carry for the Dragons when he needs to. Even though it was a good team performance, I thought he had a very huge role in not only this win but the whole season. But definitely this win, I think he definitely got a try, and he got a couple of try assists while he was at it. So yeah, good on him. He deserves all the credit he gets. So yeah, good on Ben Hunt. He's my player of the round for sure. And my team is my team of the week goes fullback is Jake Averillo. My wingers are Josh Adokar and Joseph Sawali. My centers are Valentine Holmes and Aaron Shop. My halves are Cameron Munster and Ben Hunt. My front rowers are Blake
Yeah.
Laurie and Joe Tarpany. My second rowers are Hudson Young and Jeremiah Nanai. My lock is Isaiah Yo, and my bench is Matt Burden, Jack DeBellin. Who else? I forgot one bench player. I've absolutely just missed one bench player by accident. And
Shocking.
Zach Lomax was my other
right.
player. But I actually feel that in with
Okay.
Patrick Carrigan.
Okay. No, all right. Fair call, bro. Thank you for reading out your team there and your player of the week. All right, Nick. What's your team of the round? And give me your player of the round as well.
No worries, mate. Fullback, I'll go with Jake Averillo. On the wings, Nick Kotrick and Michaeli Ravalawa. Centers, Zach Lomax and Valentine Holmes. 5'8", Cameron Munster. Halfback, Jerome Hughes. Front row of Jack DeBellin and Regan Campbell-Gillard. Hooker, Jeremy Marshall-King. The back row of Sean Lane and Jeremiah Nanai. The lock, Cameron McGuinness. And on the bench, I'll go with Aaron Schoff, Jason Taumalolo, Junior Paulo, Ryan Madison. Player of the round, well, I think it's an easy one this week. Valentine Holmes.
Yeah, he was very good. You're right. On Friday he was very good. And yeah, good team as well. Thanks for reading yours out. Okay. All right. On to my team now. So our fullback, Jake Averillo, choice, I think. On the wings, I've got Jacob Carraz and Mike Acevo. My centers are Val Holmes and Moses Sully. My halves are Matt Burden and Drew Hughes. Then the props I've got is Jack DeBellin and Moses Leota and hooker Apasai Coruscant, and my back row is Kikia and Nanai. And my lock is Ryan Madison, and off the bench I've got Aaron Shop, Isaiah Papali'i, Hudson Young, and Tui Kamakamika. And my player of the week, I've got Averillo. I think he's improving that fullback role each week, and I'm liking what I've seen from him as well. So yeah, all right, that definitely does conclude the podcast now. Gone a little bit over time, but doesn't matter because I think it was a great show. I'm glad that we got through what we had to get through for tonight's show, and yeah, just want to say thank you for tuning in, and thank you to yourself, Rugby League Roundup, and yeah, Nick from coming on as a special guest really means a lot. Thank you.
No worries, bro. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
Yep, anytime. Yeah. But be sure again to subscribe to the channels if you haven't already, both of them YouTube channels. So yeah, go and check them out if you haven't already. Their links are in the description down below, so be sure to check them out. All right, everyone, that brings it into the Ankle Break podcast, episode 32. See you next Monday for 33, and remember, get keen for the rep round ahead. Get keen for the rep round. Should be a good one. The Cowboys logo, eh? Off. All right, thanks.